2023 is winding to a close, and so is the 10th anniversary for the Monster Truck Throwdown. This season-long celebration is about to be capped off by a demonstration of pure power and pure ignorance. Wrapping up their 10th anniversary celebration, the Monster Truck Throwdown, rounding out 2023. One of the traditional ways they do in Benson, North Carolina at Galot Motorsports Park, with a full field of heavy hitters on hand in front of an awesome crowd, ready to take to the track with some big obstacles, straight line racing, but there was a special presentation to start off the show. CP3, Chucky Poggen III, and Cliff Vowell in the Virginia Giant, two old school celebrating tribute trucks, giving the crowd a little old school car crushing to start off action here tonight in Benson. And those who did not know learned quickly, and they were in for some awesome action on this night in the Tar Heel State. Now, we're going to get right off with action in the best trick competition. Highlights coming at you there. CP3 out of Maumee, Ohio, driving the truck out of Deltona, Florida. The Excalibur now of Tomfoolery Motorsports. Tim Bush has since sold these trademarks to Tomfoolery Motorsports. They also own the Ice Monster namesake now. CP3 starting them off in fine fashion with the stoppie, showing the control and letting it walk. Truck is geared nice and tight. The Patrick chassis machine going to work. One more on the other side for the crowd over here. Not quite as clean as that one, but he ends up half on the center stack, that massive stack in the middle of the track. That will be giving us some big hang time later on in the evening. But CP3 starting things off very strong with a score of 5 in the best trick competition. Scoob up next in the Lumberjack out of Jefferson, Maine, the bright orange GMC logging truck, another Patrick chassis, and he goes vertical. Thank goodness it slid back down the ramp and didn't go over. Would have lost the load off that thing, but he went hard in this best trick competition. Couldn't get over CP3, but a good effort. Score of 4. Take him into the number 2 spot for the moment. Cliff Vowell came out next in Virginia Giant with that big Hemi horsepower. That Brad Anderson power plant in the back of the Virginia Giant. That low thump as he roars down the track, the blower whine, that crisp sound that is the trademark of this awesome machine. Jumping into the number 3 spot with a 3. Vowell just getting warmed up, kind of gave away the best trick competition to feel the truck out as they were working out a few issues here this morning. Now, out of Leicester, Massachusetts, representing the team out of Columbus, Michigan, Joe Foley in Axe, trying to step things up. He went hard, and he may have gone a little bit too hard, too quick. Watch what happens here. Trademark wheelie locks it up into the bottom of the stack, into the step-up side, and he hit hard and locked the front end up. This truck is right now sitting back in the pits, and they are working feverishly to try to get it back into the action, because right now it's not going to make it. At least we don't think it's going to make it back out for racing. A score of 7 to take the lead. Company, John Gordon out of Hiram, Georgia, one of the premier drivers in one of the best trucks in the business. If this guy is going to be at a show near you, get tickets, go see it live. He is one of the wildest guys in the business, and he shows it right here, going for the freestyle stack early, smashing those cars down just a little bit. Only scored a 6. It was going to be tough to beat Joe Foley with that wild finish, but would end up in second place for the moment. Crush Station being driven by Bad Bottoms this weekend. Matty Witchenbottom out of Deltona, Florida, representing Crush Station out of Maine, as Greg trashed the Jester recently. Matt told him, give me a shot at your truck, it's my turn to trash your iron. And Pagliarulo coming out strong in a piece that doesn't have to do much to get used to. I think it's a little bouncier than Matt's truck is, but he would land himself in good standing in this competition. Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler out of Columbus, Michigan. Trying to get a slap wheel. It didn't really work for him there. One of the heaviest trucks in the industry right now. Well over 14,000 pounds in this machine. I think it's up around 14.5. It's a heavyweight, but look at that. Standing on the nose. Only scored a 4, though, as he gave away that first move. Gonna have to watch him tonight, though. You know he's gonna get wild. Now, the second gen, Nick Pagliarulo out of Deltona, Florida, the Kraken. Doing what he knows how to do, walking it up and over the race lane on the front 2 tires. The Pag Bottoms team out in force this weekend. Mike Pagliarulo is here as well. He will be taking over the wheel of Excalibur tomorrow, but right now he is watching Nick Pagliarulo take to this track. Like the consummate professional he is, a score of 8 would put him on top of this thing. So Kraken starts things off with the lead coming out of Best Tricks. Stay with us. They're going to go straight line racing and qualifying when we come back to Benson.
This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Monsters Monthly. Stay up to date with photos, videos, event info, and more at monstersmonthly.com. And by Crush This. For an inside look at the monster truck phenomenon, check out Crush This, a Monster Truck podcast. This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by RPM Army, the place to get your motorsports fix.
Crowd going wild as Todd Maddock hucks some free t-shirts up there to him. Loving the action so far here tonight. We're going to get ready to go into round 1 of racing in a moment. We'll take you through qualifying highlights, but this is the activity that continues in the Team Scream pit area as they work to free up that right front planetary assembly, literally having to cut the cap off. The carrier is completely locked up. The gears are completely locked up, and they're going to have to cut that whole thing apart and see what they can salvage to get that truck back on the track. They did not make qualifying, and they are definitely not going to make racing, but they have every intention to get this thing back out for freestyle. As you can see, the Pagliarulos are actually down there right now helping them get ready for freestyle. Nick will have to go jump in his truck in just a moment and get strapped up for round 1.
Gone over it. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I thought about it as soon as I saw it. I was like, I should hit that. And I had to brakes. I was like, nah, that's stupid.
Working very, very hard. You can see they had to cut that cast steel member apart. And they've got it freed up. Now they're in the process of putting it back together, but hopefully they'll be back for freestyle. John Gordon starting off our qualifying round highlights to set the pace on a short but aggressive straight line track. Right in front, missed the last jump. That cost him a little bit, a 9.19-second run that would have been quicker had he made a legal run over the final jump. Up next, Cliff Fowl in the Virginia Giant out of Fairfax, Virginia. Little easier, but nosedives off the first obstacle. Across the line at a 487. John Gordon would have run a 419 had he not gotten a penalty. CP3 out now in the Patrick Chassis Excalibur. Can he outrun a 487? Much less aggressive on that first jump, and it pays dividends of 465 to take the number 1 spot. Again, no one outran Gordon in terms of straight line time, but keeping your front wheels over the obstacle is all important as Scoob takes his shot at the track. Little bit off center right there, you saw, but he managed to keep it in bounds. He would run a 4.82-second elapsed time. As he stood just in front of Team Truck Crush Station. Matty Witchett-Bottom on the line right now out of Deltona, Florida, representing this team out of Maine. Truck he's fairly unfamiliar with. Let's see what he did with it in qualifying. Heavy-duty top-end charge, trying to avoid the wheelies off the starting line, still runs a 481, so by 1/100th of a second outruns teammate Lumberjack. Team Scream, though, still has one bullet in the chamber as Avenger rolls out the lone hope for the team out of Columbus, Michigan. Super aggressive was Kohler, and it cost him. You saw it at the end as he only one-wheeled the final jump. 10:01. It would have been a 5:01, so he wouldn't have been anywhere near the top of the field. Actually, would have still put him at the bottom, but managed to finish the track. He'll seed into the bracket. We'll show you where in just a minute. Nick Pagliarulo back at the wheel of Kraken. Serious top-end charge for Pagliarulo. Not as fast as Excalibur, but a 474 would land him in the number 2 spot. So that team right now is fastest on this straight line track. Here's a look at the round 1 pairings. Bad Company taking on Lumberjack. Scoop didn't qualify too bad. Excalibur, by virtue of being the fast qualifier, gets the bye run because Axe can't make it back. Crush Station will go up against Virginia Giant. That should be a solid matchup. And Kraken, your number 2 qualifier, takes on Jim Kohler in the Avenger. Right now, though, we're going to find out if John Gordon learned anything from that qualifying round that he can integrate into this run, because I guarantee you, over in the left-hand lane, Scoob in the Lumberjack is not going to give him anything in no man's land. Nosedive off the starting line for Scoob. He got on the throttle in no man's land, but it stood up. Proved me wrong in a hurry. John Gordon definitely learning from that qualifying pass because he was super quick on that run. He'll move on into the next round. Up next, Matt Pagliarulo driving Greg Winchenbach's Crush Station. Greg standing sideline tonight, kind of the crew chief for that team this weekend. And in the left lane, the big, heavy horsepower of the Virginia Giant, Cliff Fowl, definitely known for being quick in the straight line, but this first jump has been a giant killer so far here tonight. We'll see if it proves out here in round 1 of side-by-side monster truck racing. Very close at the end right there. I'm not sure who they're going to give the win to. They were both trucking down through that end zone. We'll watch it again. Foul with the nosedive. Pagliarulo got on the ground quicker, but I don't know if the truck settled as quickly. It looked like Foul may have had the edge at the very end of the run. So, we're going to wait and see who comes back. They've still not given us the winner on that one. Excalibur, CP3 stages for his bye run. Didn't overdrive it, didn't take it easy. Definitely not afraid of that loud pedal. As he'll walk over into the next round. Now another member of the Tomfoolery Motorsports team qualified in the number 2 position just behind Team Truck Excalibur. Nick Pagliarulo in the Kraken taking on Mr. Excitement, the leader of Team Scream, Jim Kohler in the Avenger. The heavyweight. Corey Rummel built machine against the PEI standby, the lightweight Kraken, but don't think he's not a heavy hitter. Got down on the ground, but wheelied through no man's land. And I do believe the Avenger will move on into the next round. Kraken qualifies number 2 Avenger with those struggles in the qualifying round, but this is proving to be a driver's course, not just a horsepower track, and you could see Kraken wheelie his way through no man's land just off center on the final ramp. The victory will go the way of Avenger. Stay with us, more action coming your way from the lot.
There's only one place in the world you can find this much old school cool. Freedom Racing Monster Trucks. The home of Cyclops and Unnamed and Untamed. Get yourself a limited edition toy at freedomracingmt.com.
In Benson, North Carolina at the Lot Motorsports Park, getting ready now for the semifinal round of monster truck racing. To find out who won that Virginia Giant crustacean matchup. That was the closest one. Round 1, it went the way of the Giant. He will face off with Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler, and Avenger. And looky at the top of the bracket, Bad Company and Lumberjack coming back for more. There you see Scoop rolling out now. They're going to swap lanes, and Zach Witchenbach will have a shot at John Gordon in Bad Company. Gordon definitely, as I said, learned a lot from that qualifying round. He kind of mellowed the driving style out for that round 1 pass. Now, on the other side of the track, will he be able to keep his cool? Scoob on the ground first. He does it. Lumberjack going to the final round. I don't want to call that an upset. That truck is well capable of it. But Winchenbach getting the thumbs up from John Gordon. The Big Orange GMC had Gordon's number in that round. Kept his calm in that near lane. Got the truck on the ground. And it's stuck. Watch it again. Just trips the first jump, gets on the throttle. It settles down. He straightens it out. Gordon was on the throttle hard. He has the horsepower. But Scoob edged him out at the end of the track. Lumberjack going into the final round. Who will he face? It will either be Cliff Fowl in the Virginia Giant here on the right-hand side of the track, or Team Scream Zone, Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler out of Columbus, Michigan, in the big, bad Green Machine Avenger. again off those first jumps. And we're waiting on word. The nod will go to the Avenger. Just a little bit. Another real close race. Val kind of figuring those lanes out, but he got pushed over here to this right-hand side. Came down hard on the nose. The truck settled nicely. Older generation PEI, now PEI REI hybrid against the heavyweight Avenger. Kohler, though, using the horsepower and the stability to mow him down right now as we go into our championship round. And nobody would be more excited to see that guy get a win than the man that's going to be across the track from him. Jim Kohler going to be riding right beside old family friend Zach Witchenbach in the Lumberjack. Both of these teams, long-time veterans of the Monster Truck Throwdown Tour, two of the original teams. What do they have for each other in this championship race as they come to stage? GMC versus 57 Bel Air on the near side. Who's it gonna be? Right there together on the end of the track. Who won that one? Kohler getting the nod. At the end of the run, Mr. Excitement, who qualified at the bottom of the ladder, picks up one of the closest wins of the night. Got the truck down in the mid-range, barely bouncing on through there. Pretty straight ride, not much correction. And Jim Kohler takes the win in side-by-side racing in Benson.
Never ever count out Jim Kohler. Never ever count out the old guys. And never ever count out the fact that there's no give up in you, there's no quit in you at all. You won to win the championship and won it all.
You know, I watched John Gordon hit it at the beginning. He hit it hard, and everybody else eased over it. So I said, I'm going to hit it hard just to see what it does. Because I already know what easing over it does. I watched everybody else. Hitting it hard didn't work. That's why I was slow qualified. But I knew if I eased getting late into it, we'd eat this place up. Man, you guys here in Benson, I want to hear you get loud. You guys are awesome. Yeah!
The standard yell of Mr. Excitement, and little bonus for the crowd here this weekend. Donuts from all of the Throwdown competitors that will lead us into freestyle momentarily. But a congratulations to Team Scream, bouncing back after a rough start to their weekend. Stay with us, more to come from Benson.
Hey, welcome to Wild Man Adventures. Heard the Silver Lake Sand Dragway. There really wasn't any off-roading back then. It was all off-road. We're on our way to Lima, Ohio. Got wooden wheels.
Oh, it's slippery as all get out of.
Hey, we're here with Rich Cummins. Hey, we're here with Mike Potter. Hey, we're here with Alan Pizzo. Gotta check it out. This week we're going to go down memory lane.
Welcome back to the first of two shows on this final weekend of the 10th season of the Monster Truck Throwdown Tour. Running here in Benson, North Carolina, Gallatin Motorsports Park on a beautiful night here in the Tar Heel State. Getting ready for Freestyle to get underway. Remember, we'll have another show coming at you tomorrow from right here in Benson, North Carolina, more wild rides. This guy will be jumping out of the seat. Mike Pagliarulo will be jumping behind the wheel of this truck. But CP3 starting off Freestyle with some big air. Just getting warmed up right there. I think he may have been slowing down to tighten the belts. You'll see these guys do that sometimes. They take a big hit. The belts don't feel right. You see them slow down briefly without losing that momentum. They'll just yank the straps down real quick and get comfortable in the seat again. Tomfoolery Motorsports bringing the second, or well, I guess the third generation of Pocket on board. Second generation monster truck driver. And oh man, do they have to be happy with this performance. Jumping right over the living room sofa there, up on the nose. Can he carry it out? Talk about control. That thing was getting loose on him. He managed to reel it back in. It was cocked to the right. He hung on to it. The old bumper's about to come off. Let's see. What else can he deliver to this crowd? Another second-generation driver that comes from a really competitive background. His father, for many years, made this name famous. Originally brought to the monster truck circuit by Mike Nickel and Dave Marquardt, then Charlie Pocket, and now CP3 flying high above the crowd here in Benson. Didn't even wait to line that one up. Charlie Pocket the third, Chucky Pocket the third. Burning it down, and that was just the first truck to go here in Freestyle. He had some big air on that run. The momentum was great. He had some two-wheel moves mixed in there, but the hang time set the bar so high. I cannot wait to see what's coming out. Look at this thing. Got to be 35 feet in the air. Scores a 21. Chucky starting things off strong as another legendary name in the motorsport comes flying out. Cliff Fowl out of Fairfax, Virginia, in the Brad Anderson Hemi-powered Virginia Giant. Looks like he's going to line it up for the bus right off the bat. And something just let go. You could hear a little snap when he came down as the looks like the left front, maybe sway bar adjuster is hanging down there. He doesn't know it yet. They're going to red light him here at the end of the track, or they're going to shut him down. Okay, it looks like Todd Maddock may have flagged him down there, and he's going to take it off the track. A tough break for this guy. That must have been ready to let go, because that didn't look like it took much to break. Comes down, a score of 5. Disappointing showing for Fowl. I know he had a lot more left in it, but he broke the front sway bar. And that's all she wrote. Don't want to run with those things broken. If the tire catches and flings one off, those are really dense and really heavy. Now the scoop rolls out in Lumberjack out of Jefferson, Maine. Trying to see what he can do after the opening run of Excalibur. Coming right at you, up and on top of it. Hold on there, he lost power and the truck starts to drift off the side. What happened there? Oh, there we go, gets it refired. Bring it on down. Rear steering's hanging on him a little bit there, too. There we go. It looks like it may have straightened back up. Oh, and he's got a sway bar adjuster hanging down as well. Walking on over. Wait and see if the... And they did catch it right there. Again, parts coming apart here. We're at the end of a season. The fatigue factor taking over. A score of 14. But again, the front sway bar letting go, and say it every time, you can't just let those things bang around. If they come flying off, they can do some real damage. Rulo now in crush station, rolling out. Greg Winchenbach back there saying, don't use it all up tonight. We got one more show tomorrow. Matt going after a victory, though, behind his team truck. Remember, he's trying to beat his own teammate right now, or what would normally be his own teammate were he at the wheel of Jester. Tonight, now behind the wheel of Greg's truck, he's going after CP3 and Excalibur. Doing a nice job here in Crush Station, though. Again, similar design to the truck that he normally drives the Jester, but a lot bouncier in the front end. Winds it up. Huge leap over the bus. Look at the rebound on that thing. What a shot. So really working the track well, and I don't know if it shows on camera. This is a nice space. It's decent size. Look at that slap when it carries it out. We knew he'd get one before the end of the night. See what he's got left. One more over the step up. Hold on to it. Started turning on him. Matt Pagliarulo in Crush Station. I don't know, was it enough to take over from that 21 laid down by Excalibur? And again, as I was saying, this is a pretty big space. There's a fair amount of room out here to play with, but it does get more narrow more quickly than you'd imagine on either end of this track. Now, one of the heaviest hitters in the game, John Gordon in Bad Company out of Hiram, Georgia. Hardy Chevrolet sponsored machine. Best equipment in the business, ready to go to war. Standing it up on that thing. Look, he got hung up. Burying our groundhog camera. That's what it's there for, though. Have to clean that thing off, plug her in, give her a recharge, see what we have on it at the end of the night. So far, so good. Truck sounds just awesome, though. The engine tunes so crisp. Runs an electronic fuel injection system on this truck. Some guys have struggled with that. He seems to have found the sweet spot in that tuning. And this truck runs so well. Look at that. Walks it right down the back of that obstacle. Big air off of the center pod. Working the track from end to end. He gets a little slap wheelie out of it. And more massive hang time off of the center stack. It is tough on a track like this. You do have a limited amount of hits you can make, but everybody looks for something to set them apart. Going for the big air there. Looks like he's going to wrap it up with the two-wheel. Hood's coming off. He'll get some zip ties, put it back together for tomorrow. But what a run from John Gordon out of Hiram, Georgia, in bad company. What a run for that guy. He had some huge hang time. The score, a 23 for John Gordon out of Hiram, Georgia. Now, Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler in Avenger. Keep in mind, he is out here running right now. We are still waiting to see if Axe is going to make the call. We have not gotten word yet. Kohler with some big time. Again, I mentioned this Corey Rummel built chassis, one of the heaviest in the business. They build them like tanks. This truck well over 14,000 pounds. And again, I don't want to give away any secrets. I think this thing may be around 14.3, 14.4, maybe even a 14.5 range, but it flies with the best of them. There's a whole different learning curve to drive this truck as compared to the truck that he used to drive, which is the truck Joe Foley is in tonight. You can see Kohler definitely making the most of this thing. Look at this. Massive air for the Avenger. What a shot. In the limelight tonight, Jim Kohler stepping up, letting his right foot do the talking. He was loud on the mic earlier. He's loud on the track right now. End of the run here, looking for one more big hit. Massive hang time, flatlands it into a slap wheelie off the back of the rollers on the race lanes. And he will roll to a stop after what has to be a takeover run. That was sensational for Mr. Excitement in the Avenger. The momentum was there. The noise, the excitement. He is Mr. Excitement. What is the score? The hang time. We said they were going to have to go big to try to better CP3. Look at that. A 27 to take over the number one spot from Bad Company. And John Gordon out rolls Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken right now, going after a 27. And he makes a statement coming out. Huge, long air going away as he heads back over the racing lanes. Definitely announcing his presence coming out. Well, this is just night one of this thing, too. They still have a whole nother show to go. He's not worried about saving anything, though. Well, it kind of slid sideways on him there. Very nicely gets off of it. Doesn't take out the guardrail here. Let's see what else he's got for him. Nice hit over the bus. The engine, though, starting to spit some flames. And it goes down on him right there. The Kraken, unfortunately, gonna roll to a premature stop, but he started with some of the biggest, longest hang time of the night. Off of that first obstacle, then came back and countered with this. A score of 20, not even close to what he's capable of, and he is as disappointed as anyone. And look at this, here he comes, Joe Foley in Axe. The man out of Massachusetts getting big air right from go, driving the fire truck out of Columbus, Michigan. Not taking it easy on it at all right here at the end of the season. They got nothing to lose. They get a little break. They'll put these trucks back together and bring them out for more destruction. But they do have something to lose. They got one more show here before the end of the weekend. Look at Foley going move to move. Looking to jump over the 27, laid down by his boss in Avenger. Going after it. He's got problems, though. A big spray out the front end. It looks like the front steering is gone. You can see it puking fluid out. Oh, and he's got bigger problems. The front sway bar is gone. And the transmission sounds like it might be trashed as well. I don't know if they're going to stop him or not. Oh, my! What a hit on the back of the race lane. You saw pieces and parts come flying off. He just trashed the front end of this truck. Started with so much hang time. He's not going to be happy at the end of this thing, though. He's going to score kind of low, but ran hard. It was short, but it was sweet. And in fact, the front sway bar was gone before he ever got to that bus. But, man, what a hit on the back of that race lane. Scores a 17 after all of that. And look at the destruction underneath the front end of the big fire truck out of Columbus, Michigan. Your winner, though, Jim Kohler in Avenger, the overall champion as well. One racing, one freestyle. Can't be too mad about this damage on his old truck. So walk out of here with the prize. Thanks for joining us. We're not done. We will be back for one more from Benson, North Carolina. See you then.